G'day guys. Tonight's video might not necessarily be very funny or educational at all. But I figured that because I've got over 300 videos on here, I might actually highlight some of the ones which are actually like, actually valuable, but been forgotten. There are so many videos down here which nobody ever sees anymore because they're too old, but every single one of them has critical pieces of value all throughout it. So I'll run through them real quick, right? So nobody gets bored, all right? This is one of my first videos here. Basically, I actually live tested a globe outside and I pitched it at the angle so you could see it in natural course. It's a bit of a messy one, but Piper loves it. This one here, back in the back way before TFE, I was showing how the north and the south has different star and sun pathways. I tested the angles of the sun in Melbourne. I tested the scale of the Earth. Very, very important. You'll see the living scale. I even got drone footage over the bay, over Melbourne, to be able to see the curve on the bay. Just a waste of time, one, right? I tried to do a solar eclipse to scale. If you have never seen a sunset in Melbourne, you see the angle that it's at. Very important stuff. This one here analyzes the hotspots on balloons so that you can actually tell why the moon doesn't have a bright sparkle on it, right? I got a few sunsets in equatorial places, right? And what you'll notice is all the suns are going down directly straight down. It's clear evidence that at the equator the sun sets in a particular way. If you ever want to go out there and find out what the distance is on the flat Earth, Gleason map, I can do that. I speak with a mate who went on the QF27. This one is a rather silly one from years ago, where I actually physically go out there and I draw all of the sun angles on the back of a turtle. It's actually pretty good. This one here was my first Selenelian sort of attempt. It can get a bit messy, and I would like to do it in a much cleaner way in the future. There's just a few more sunsets. I tried to show the way sunsets do go in different angles and stuff like that. There are cheap Antarctica flights, which you don't have to do the TFE to be able to. You don't have to spend 35,000. You can just take a flight from Melbourne or Adelaide or Sydney. Really, really cheap, right? I talk about the lost technology of Apollo. Why everyone says they lost the technology, but honestly, everything was just smashed, or is there in museums, right? The sunsets going in different directions. Subscriptions to Flat Out. This video got posted on Toons the other day, so that one hit a bit of a popular thing. I got another sunset, from Melbourne. I first tested Andrew Marsh well over a year ago, right? And this one, I talk about the fact that there is deep space underneath the dome, all right? Flat Earthers think, oh yeah, the dome's just going to, it's trapping the air. There's deep space inside the dome. This one here, I test the city angles according to Flat Earth on the turtle back again, right? This one's just a quick version of Selenelian. Some of these ones here, I figured out what the diameter of the planet is, right? I was within 1% on this particular one. This one was just trash talking. This one I tried to put a sun on top of a flat Gleason's map. This one I tried to estimate the moon distance, right? These are all like the bits and bobs of like so much important stuff. This one I did full-on 3D models to go out there and figure out why sun angles go down the way they do, right? There's 4 sun options for does it go around a globe, or if it goes over a flat Earth at 15 degrees per hour, does it bounce into the ocean? What does it do? You got to tell me, right? I got Walter Bisland's perspective. It's got no views, but that's why when you look closer to the planet and look further away, the continent changes in shape. I revisit this sun angles to show why the sun angles are proof of a globe. I try my best to do the sun distance. I kind of didn't do a great job. I'm unhappy with it, but it's a good test. I tried. You got to try. Just a couple of debates. This one's funny, where I got yelled at by some sort of geometry teacher. He had no clue. I was right, he was wrong, but he couldn't fucking take it. Just some silly videos. I did a dumpy test. I actually got a dumpy out, put the crosshairs over the water. This is proof that the water is always underneath the horizon. It doesn't rise to eye level. Some more stupid videos where I was talking trash talking, right? Yeah, I don't know. There's so many things. I don't want to talk on forever, but I mean, there's so much good stuff to look at back here, and it's all very, very, very important. So, I mean, a few of these ones is just me trash talking and stuff like that. We were joking around in a space. We were talking with that one there. I got videos of Antarctica a year ago, like a year before TFE. I had 24-hour sun for 3 days on certain webcams. 24 hours a day, no gaps. So we had the 24-hour sun proved 1 year beforehand. I showed this one to Nick Havoc the other day. I just got a basketball, painted it grey, made it look like a moon. I show how you visualize moon phases with a freaking basketball that I got for free. Right? Simple test. Things that teach you very, very good things. I copied the Gemini 4 thing and I sped it up to 30x so that you can actually see the way that the planet actually rotates underneath, so you can understand why it goes left or it goes up or whatever. I even tested the moon landing sites. I had a look at them. I looked at the sun arcs over the equator. I talked about the way the Milky Way flows through our sky. There's a couple other things I talked about why Walter Bislin is a defunct sort of broken thing because Bendy lied, right? I talked about why on earth Flat Earth Dave thinks that everything orbits Polaris, when he doesn't understand that Polaris is 89.15 degrees. It's not the center of the orbit at all. A couple of times when I talked to Whitsett, I cracked some jokes by doing a rage quit. It was specific and made everyone laugh. There was a couple of things like Flat Earth Dave not going to Antarctica. It was like just funny videos. I had suggestions. This one here, I talked about sun paths. This one got attacked by Lindsay. He thought it was stupid, but he can't. I don't think he'll be able to understand why it's correct, and he doesn't understand it's correct. My early interview with Will Duffy. I just did a couple of captures on what people's claims were before TFE. I love this one from Jainism where he was talking about beta males always watching football, watching other people do things and how they're fucking lazy ass bastards themselves. I laughed at Lindsay after he laughed at my video, stuff like that. These two ones, classic stuff. I measured the sky, or I measured a ceiling, a virtual ceiling, to figure out what the floor looked like. That's something I don't think anyone's bothered to do these sort of tests. I'm trying to show these sorts of things. I show a very basic thing of how the Polaris orbit can be visualized. These sunsets in Cairns and in San Francisco and in El Salvador, all captured by me. So I've been around the world, captured these things. So I've got little bits and bobs of evidence from all over the planet. Talk about equinoxes. I talk about equinox lines. I even tracked an aeroplane, right? What is it? I threw something up for stellar parallax. If you can do the stellar parallax, you can figure it out. Polaris angles. What else is there? There's a couple of funny ones in here. I talked about how all lunar landings were in the lunar morning. So they're at the very, very start of when the sun is actually starting to light up the moon. So they had a very specific time of landing. All right, equinoxes are all 90 degrees. How sidereal time works, right? There's a couple. I even talked about how Jeranism was trying to figure out the Antarctic eclipse. You just got to understand it from the backside of Antarctica. I talked about when I jumped on about sundials. I had a look at concave. What else is there? This one here, I like North Pole to Singapore. I estimated how far it would be if you figured out where Polaris was, how far away Singapore was, and it was not pretty at all. I talk about heliocentrism and how certain things actually have leading points towards, how geocentric data points lead towards heliocentric points, right? I've got footage of Casey Base, footage of Davis Base, all that sort of stuff. People going to Antarctica, you can test the geocentric time cycles. Why geocentric completely falls flat. Whole bunch of stuff. I even went out to the dish which transmitted to Apollo 11. And I followed the whole TFE crew as they went down to down to the bottom of the thing. I had a look at. I just did a couple of trims of TFE, and what else have I got? I had captured the ice marathon. I went out and took a shot of the sunset happening. Down next to the bottom of the bay. What else have I got? A couple of funny ones here. See this one here, Union Glacier. I actually did this in VR, and if you did that, you will immerse yourself in the way that the 24-hour sun works and how the sun arcs over the planet. This VR is fantastic, absolutely fantastic. I'll talk about Vendy Globe. This Vax Wax is hilarious, absolutely funny. It was on Jeranism channel and fucking brilliant. I loved it for a second. I was just pissing myself the whole time. I got moon speeds. How it acts when you think about it in two different pathways, whether geocentric or heliocentric. It just is fascinating. I have a bit of a laugh at Sov. I even trolled Toon, so I mean, no one's safe. Nobody's safe. Joe Hamby, I cracked a fucking stupid joke. Everyone should watch that one. It's pretty funny. I tested the angle to Venus. I tested the angle to Mercury. I discussed whether or not radio waves have color, because that was one of the most strangest questions to ever get posed. Does radio waves have a color? My latest video was Stellar Alien eclipse can be seen without refraction if you lift yourself to 800 meters high. It's all possible, These guys are going completely crazy over the star over the Pikes Peak without thinking about the fact that the actual the star should be below the horizon all the time if it's a flat Earth, right? They haven't got a clue. They're completely dumbfounded. I show Alan and Shane how to do the maths the easiest way possible. I doubt they'll ever do it because they just don't do those sorts of things, right? Another silly one, I got Will Duffy to bark like a dog, which is always good. And my latest one here, Andrew Marsh, I'm sending off to Jeranism. Watch it, man. Take in some of the information that I can. I'll cut it here, but I mean, I've got shorts which have got critical information in it too. I mean, this one here, Antarctic and Antarctica and Arctic. You can see the sun, the way it flows in different directions. I did rainbows. That was a funny one where two weights were hanging, and it was never going to work. The guy was a bloody idiot. So there's good quality stuff all through this, and I encourage people to dive back and see all the captures because there's good stuff. I mean, even this short is not on my main videos, but it shows how heliocentric and geocentric can be synchronized, and you can see how different they are. Just watching it, you will go, got it. Makes sense now. It just makes sense. So yeah, there's good stuff everywhere. Even this one here, this ball of water has air inside the ball of water, and then they put bubbles of more water on the inside of the air, and those bubbles of water join together and form larger balls of water. So you've got balls inside air balls inside water balls. It just blows your mind. So yeah. if you're interested in that sort of stuff, just scroll back. I've got so much stuff which nobody's ever seen, and you'll pick up heaps of quality stuff, because I don't just constantly just do blabbering stuff. I'm always testing. So if you want to actually see real tests, if you want to learn something, I've got tons and tons of content which is just untouched, and it's all got like essential, broken down, simple stuff which you can go, oh, that makes sense now. It will answer a question you didn't realize you didn't have. So I've tested it all. But yeah, go back, look at it, enjoy, ask a question. If there's something you want to discover, I could go out there and I could do a video. Just ask. So yeah, I'll cut it there. Thanks for listening.